They, I don't think, are aware necessarily of this side effect and how this might change their reproductive choices. So what happens is if you're not ovulating, you're basically blunted in terms of that sexual interest and that signaling. Because during that time, women have been shown in studies to wear more provocative clothing. They're more likely to want to go out to clubs and meet men, to socialize, things like that, right? To meet partners. And also men can tell when women are ovulating. So they can tell in terms of a woman's appearance. They can tell by her scent. And men who are
You can tell by the way that they walk. You see that study where they did silhouettes of women walking down the street?
So and men in relationships will show more mate guarding behaviors when their partner is ovulating if she's not on the pill. He'll call and check up on her. I don't know that these men are necessarily consciously aware, but they're trying to basically, like C-block other guys. So if that's off the table entirely, surely that's doing something as well to men's mating psychology. And so I think if women want to take the pill or not take the pill, that's their choice. But I wish there was more in terms of information for young women, especially considering that many young women get on the pill when they are, say, teenagers. They're on it for non-sexual purposes, so things like regulating their menstrual cycle or, say, for their skin or whatever reason. And they, I don't think, are aware necessarily of this side effect and how this might change their reproductive choices. Because what happens is once you get on the pill, and I have a chapter on reproductive technology like egg freezing and IVF. So once you start to delay your fertility, you're going to spend more time later on trying to make up for it if you decide to have children. And I don't think that young women are necessarily as aware of that either, that your biology is something very important to consider as a woman. And it's, that's seen as sexist to say that, but that's the reality. And, especially if you want a family, it's important to prioritize that because that process is going to affect you in a way that's different for men.
I had Sarah Hill completely took my head off with all of the impact of hormonal birth control. I think that a lot of the modern mental health issues that we're seeing with young women can probably be laid at the feet of, at least, I would love to do a cohort analysis between how many of the people that have got anxiety or depression also took hormonal birth control during puberty or are still on it now. I mean, the fact that your mate choices for women change when you're on the pill versus off the pill, that you seem to prioritize a little bit more for provisioning when you're on the pill and a little bit more for protection when you're off the pill. How many women that I've heard from who said, I was on the pill for ages, then I came off and I wasn't attracted to my partner anymore. Okay, but when is the first time that most women come off the pill if they've been on it since they were teenagers?